If you are using Performance Max campaigns to generate phone calls from Google Ads, but you're receiving very few or no high quality phone calls, then this video is for you. I'm going to share a better way to generate phone calls from Google Ads and how you can reduce the number of spam or low quality phone calls that can come from Performance Max campaigns. So let's get started. So guys, we're in our Google Ads dashboard, and if you're running Performance Max campaigns to generate phone calls for your business, here I'm going to provide you solutions that can increase the quality of your phone calls as well as reduce the number of spam phone calls or low quality phone calls you can get from Performance Max campaigns. I have tested many different campaigns and generated thousands of phone calls for service businesses using Google Ads. So you can see some results from here. And today we're going to see how to improve the quality of the phone calls and potentially receive more number of higher quality phone calls. So my first suggestion would be stop relying on Performance Max campaigns to generate phone calls from Google Ads. So if you have been running Performance Max campaigns for some time and you were receiving some number of phone calls, I would suggest you to stop using Performance Max, because I've run Performance Max campaigns myself to generate phone calls, and more than 60 to 70% of the time they can easily generate spam phone calls. So I would not be surprised if 10 out of 7, 10 out of 8 phone calls would be spam phone calls or lower quality phone calls with Performance Max campaigns. So I would suggest you to stop using Performance Max and start using other campaign types. And specifically, I would suggest you to use Google search campaigns. Google search campaigns can generate really good quality phone calls because your ads can show up on Google search results page whenever people are looking for your service. So because Performance Max campaigns can include other campaign types, for example, your ads can show up on display network and people might be browsing some websites and your ads may show up and they may not have that high intent. But with search campaigns, your ads will show up when they search for your service at that specific time, so they can have the highest intent. And if your ad shows up at the right time, you can get very high quality phone calls. A quick reminder, if you want to know how I got 2x more phone calls using 2 key strategies in Google Ads, click the link in the description below and I'll send you the video of how I did that for free. Another optimization method would be adding lots of negative keywords as an account level. So with Performance Max campaigns, you may not be able to add negative keywords. So that's why adding the negative keywords as an account level can block irrelevant search terms that may come from Performance Max campaigns. So that might be applicable for all campaign types, including Performance Max campaigns. So you're going to go to the negative keywords section and click on that and click on this plus button and add your own negative keywords from here. As you can see, you can add up to 1,000 negative keywords, and your negative keywords can include your brand terms or irrelevant search terms that might appear frequently, so that you won't be getting clicks from those kind of irrelevant terms in the future. And the next thing in our list, you should review your conversion tracking setup. So maybe there is something wrong with your conversion tracking. So you can go to the conversion section, you should go to goals, and the conversions, you should go to summary and scroll down, and you need to review call conversion tracking setup. So make sure they're working, and you need to have 2 types of call conversion tracking. One should be phone calls directly coming from the ads, and the other one should be phone calls coming from the website. You should be tracking both types of conversion actions. And once you've identified that these conversion actions are working properly and they're recording conversions, then the next step is you should check your call length. So for example, you can check your call length with call extensions. For example, if I'm going to click on that, this is a call extension, and scroll down. As you can see, we have put the call length as 30 seconds. And with Performance Max, you can get a lot of phone calls with the call length less than 30 seconds, which means lower quality phone call. So some people or bots might be calling to your business and they might hang up. So you can increase this call length and make sure that the maximize conversions bid strategy you're using should be recording phone calls as a conversion if they are more than, let's say, 90 seconds. And if they are equal to or more than 90 seconds, you're going to record them as a conversion. Otherwise, your maximize conversions bid strategy you are using with Performance Max campaigns won't record any phone calls as conversions if they are less than 90 seconds. So with that way, you can tell your bid strategy that you should generate me more and more number of conversions, but I'm going to consider conversions as phone calls more than 90 seconds. So you might get less number of conversions, of course, than you were getting before, But Google Ads smart bidding strategy is going to work on getting more and more number of these types of conversions, which are more than 90 seconds. But you should be careful, and the numbers might drop dramatically. And for example, if you were receiving 3 4 high quality phone calls, you might not receive this kind of phone calls at all in the future. Just be careful about that. But also at the same time, the numbers might improve as well. So if you were receiving 4 or 5 high quality phone calls, you might get 10 15 high quality phones. You should just monitor the results, and depending on that, you can increase or decrease this number. If the number of high quality phone calls are lower than before, you can reduce this number. So you can put it as 60 seconds, for example. And that's how you can put your call length and record your phone calls as conversions. And the next thing is you should target long tail and high intent keywords. So with Performance Max campaigns, you can target certain search terms, but try not to target those certain search terms with less number of words. So let's say a quick example. And let's say we're targeting locksmith industry. And when doing keyword research, here I've chosen a target keyword as locksmith. And from here, you can choose longer tail keywords, which means keywords with more detail. For example, when you're using Performance Max campaigns, you cannot use this keyword signal as your target keyword because it may attract lots of irrelevant keywords or competitor keywords. So that's why I would suggest you, when using Performance Max campaigns, try to target very specific keywords. For example, the keywords should have at least 3 words, if not more. The more words they have, the better it is. For example, emergency locksmith near me, or car locksmith near me, or car key replacement near me. So of course you can create different asset groups from these keywords, but the idea is the Performance Max campaigns targeting can act like broad match and phrase match, which can attract lots of irrelevant and low quality keywords. That's why the more specific the keywords, the better the targeting can be. So that's why I would suggest you to target very long keywords. And if the keywords themes are different from each other, here you can see 3 keywords are different from one another and their theme is different. Car locksmith is generic car locksmith. Emergency locksmith, somebody is looking for locksmith urgently, and car key replacement, it is a very specific service. So we can create 3 asset groups and target those 3 variations of the keywords in different asset groups. But in our keyword selection, we're not choosing keywords with very few number of words. We should be choosing keywords at least 3 words, but ideally that should be 4 or 5 words. And if you can target those kind of keywords, it can improve the quality of the search terms of your Performance Max campaigns. Which leads us to the next mistake, which is many people who create Performance Max campaigns may create only one ad group, which means one asset group. And I would suggest you to create as many asset groups as possible, depending on your service type, depending on the keyword themes that you're targeting. Here we are using 3 keywords as an example, and that means 3 asset groups. And you can choose similar types of keywords in each asset group. For example, for car locksmith near me asset group, you can target car locksmith near me or related keywords to that specific keyword. So what keyword that could be? Car locksmith near me, car locksmith in my area, car locksmith near me open now. You can target or include these kind of keywords for this specific asset group. Or for the next asset group, emergency locksmith near me. For emergency locksmith near me, you can put different types of keywords. For example, emergency locksmith open now, or nearest emergency locksmith, or emergency locksmith in my area. And I think you got the point. That's how you can create tightly themed asset groups and increase the relevancy of the asset groups so that you can clearly communicate with your ad copies before somebody's clicking on your ad, and you can have very relevant campaigns if traffic you are receiving is very high quality and they're aligned with your ad copies. And the last thing in our list, you should monitor your search terms regularly, and you should refine, which means you should add negative keywords as an account level. As I've shown, if you are running Performance Max campaigns, you can add negative keywords as an account level. But how you can see the search terms when you're using Performance Max campaigns? So if you're using Performance Max campaigns, you may not see this search terms section. You can see your search terms by going to the Insights section. You can go to the Insights section and scroll down, and you can see from which search terms the traffic is coming from. If you have got enough data, you can see the list of certain search terms. Still, because you are using smart campaigns, that means you may not be able to get all the data because that's a smart campaign. But if you have generated enough data, you can still get some idea of the quality of the keywords you're getting, the information about the specific keywords, are they relevant to your services or they're coming mostly from irrelevant terms. You can see those keywords and add them as an account level. So overall, that's how you can improve the quality of your Performance Max campaigns, or how you can generate higher quality phone calls if you were using Performance Max campaigns. But ideally, I would not use Performance Max campaigns to generate phone calls for service businesses, because as I told, I've run Performance Max campaigns lots of times, and Performance Max campaigns, without a question, at this time can attract lots of spam and irrelevant phone calls. So the best alternative to that would be search campaigns. So again, if you guys want to know how I doubled the number of phone calls using 2 key strategies with Google Ads, you can click the link in the description below and I'll send a video of how I did that for free. Or if you guys want me to generate high quality phone calls to your business using Google Ads, you can click the link in the description below and we can see if we can work together. Otherwise, thank you guys for watching this video and see you guys in my other videos.